All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's lesson is 4.1, Order of Operations. Your lesson today is on page 61 and 63, A through E. Your ACE problems are 1 and 2, 8 through 29. I know it sounds like a lot, it's not. And 36 through 43. Your learning target is I can determine the proper order in which to perform multiple functions. Okay, so here are our notes for today. We have to make sure that we have lesson 4.1 notes. We have the name, date, and crew at the top. And I want to put down these two statements. The panda eats, comma, shoots, comma, and leaves. And also, without commas, the panda eats, shoots, and leaves. These have two very different meanings. For instance, the panda eats, so he eats something, he shows up at a restaurant, he eats something. He then shoots a gun or something, and then he leaves the restaurant. By adding commas, we've made this a list. Instead, I have the panda eats, shoots, and leaves. Well, what does the panda eat? It eats shoots, like plant shoots and bamboo shoots, and it eats leaves. So they have two very different meanings based on the order of the words and the grammar we use. And the same is true with math. For instance, if I have 5 times, and I'm using the little asterisk there as a times symbol, 5 times 4 minus negative 5. Well, if I do what's in the brackets first, right, 4 times negative 4 minus negative 5 gives me positive 1. And then if I do 5 times positive 1, I get 5 for my answer. But now, if I switch that around and do the 5 times negative 4 first, I get negative 20 minus 5, which gives me negative 25. Very, very different numbers. The same numbers, I just chose which order I wanted to do them in. And I got two completely different answers. Now, this poses a really big problem in math. In math, we have to do lots of really complicated problems with lots of complicated steps. And previously, in a lot of our math, we've only asked you to do maybe 1 or 2 different things at a time. But when we make these formulas, what we're really doing is we're making a sentence. We're making a set of instructions. And to help us decide which parts to do first, we need some order, some method that we can all agree on, that we're going to do this first, then this, and then this in order to make sense of everything. Otherwise, we're going to end up with these big, complicated, jumbled messes of formulas and algorithms, which is why we came up with the order of operations. The order of operations is an order in which we agree to do all of our math problems. That if you're given this big, long string of problems to do, the order in which we do them has to be standard. We had to agree. All of mathematics needs to agree that we do this, and then this, and then this, because otherwise we end up with a panda eats, shoots, and leaves situation, where we get very different meanings, very different answers if we screw up our order. And we've agreed on this set of operations. P for parentheses first, E for exponents. Then we agree to do our multiplication and division. Okay? One is not more important than the other. This is a very important detail. I did not figure it out till high school, which probably explains why, well, it explains a lot of things. But we do multiplication and division as soon as they show up, from right to left. Or, I'm sorry, from left to right. Stupid Mr. Briggs. And the same thing for addition and subtraction, which we do last. And to remember this, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The P stands for parentheses, for please. The E stands for exponents. The M for my is multiplication. The D is for division. The aunt is A, the S is subtraction. You're going to want to put down PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally as the order in which we do these problems. Now this is probably going to be pretty familiar to you. But just in case, please copy it down. Okay. Another way to remember this is Gemma. And Gemma goes like this. We do grouping, then we do exponents, then we do multiplication and division, and then we do addition and subtraction. G-E-M-A. Gemma. Both of them basically tell us that first we handle things inside parentheses first. So if there is a 5 plus 2 in parentheses, that gets done first. Then exponents. If anything has a exponent like squared or cubed or to the 4th power, to the 6th power, to the 88th power, we do exponents second. Okay? Then you do any multiplication or division. Doesn't matter which comes first. You don't do all the multiplication and then all the division. If there's a multiplication problem that shows up on the left-hand side before the division problem, that's what you do. And then finally, you do addition and subtraction problems. And you do them in that order, so that you do not get confused. If you're a little confused on how this is done, please go to Khan Academy and look up order of operations, or go to YouTube and look up order of operations. There are oodles of very good videos that explain this much better than I will. So here are some examples. The first one is pretty simple. We have 3 plus 6 times 2. Now, do I do 3 plus 6 first, then times 2? No. No, we don't. First, we do the multiplication first. Well, let's go through it. First, do I have anything in parentheses? No. Okay? And just to remind myself how this works, maybe I'll put, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally at the top. Okay, any parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. Any multiplication or division? Why, yes, there is. I have 6 times 2. And 6 times 2 gives me 12. And I put 12 underneath and just rewrite the rest of the problem. Now what comes next? Well, addition and subtraction. Well, there's only addition left, so I do 3 plus 12. I get 15 for my answer. Now, that's very different than if I did the addition first. If I just went from left to right, I would have gotten 9 times 2. I would have gotten 18 as an answer. So it was very good that I paid attention to those order of operations. Now let's do the second one. The second one's a little tricky. Is there some stuff inside parentheses first? Why, not only is there stuff inside parentheses, there are orders of operations inside the parentheses. So the first thing I need to do is that exponents, okay, because there's no parentheses inside the parentheses. So my exponent, I get 25, and I just rewrite the problem. Okay. And now I have 7 plus 6 times 25 plus 3. Well, I need to do the 6 times 25. Now 6 times 25 gives me, well, 4 times 25 will give me 100. I get 150 plus 3. And this becomes 153. And I'm left with the 7 plus 153, which gives me 160 as an answer. The next one we have to do, okay, is 4 times 4 minus 3 times 3 minus 16 divided by 4. Now, do I do multiplication first or division first? You know what? I do the first ones that show up. Now, are there any parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. But I have to do multiplication. So the 4 times 4 becomes 16. I bring down the minus. Oh, 3 times 3 gives me 9. Bring down the minus. Oh, but then I need to do 16 times 4 divided by 4, which is 4. And now I just do any addition. Nope, there's no addition, so I just go on to subtraction. 16 minus 9 gives me 5. Minus 4 gives me 1 for my answer. Now the next one. Oh, another one that has some stuff in the parentheses. The first thing I need to handle in parentheses is that 2 cubed. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And I just copy down the rest. 20 minus 3 times 8 minus 5. Well, I need to do the multiplication now next. And 3 times 8 gives me 24 minus 5. Make sure I bring down that 20. So 20. Oh, still need to do the 24 minus 5. I get 21. So now I have 20 minus 21. And I get, 24 minus 5 is 19. What am I thinking? Duh. Okay, 19. And I do 20 minus 19. I get 1 as my answer. So as you can see, when we have these big, long, complicated things, the order is very important. Okay, your coursework for today is going to be the lesson is on page 61 and 63, A through E. And our ACE problems are going to be 1 through 2, 8 through 29, and 36 through 43. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, get this done and have fun.